I've been walking through the noise, chasing every echoed voice, every answer fading like the dawn. I was reaching for the sky with 1,000 reasons why, but my heart was still so far from home. Every road I tried to pave only led me to the same old place, where my questions fill the air like rain. So I fell down to my knees, whispered through the quiet breeze, are you there? Will you explain? If you're the Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end, then you see the doubts inside me and the places I won't bend. So I'm coming to you, God, with my questions, not afraid of what the answers might be. Open up my heart like the heavens, let your word come alive in me. I don't know religion without reason. I don't want a truth I can't see. If you're the way, the truth, the life, then teach me how to listen. Teach me how to believe.
Psalm 46:10. Be still and know that I am God.
Speak and I will follow. Lead me into truth tonight.
Nope, wrong one. Good morning. How is everyone this morning? I hope you're all doing well. So, we finished Genesis yesterday. We start Leviticus today. I have no idea what it's about, so I guess we'll find out. I would say together, but you guys probably already know. Oh, let me remove that. Trying something different today, so let's move this over here. Make it bigger like that. I guess we'll see if that works. And let me send myself a message and see if it works. It does. Hey, how about that? Okay. Well, let's get started. God bless you. God, please bless me. Give me the wisdom to understand what I'm about to read. Leviticus 1. The Lord called Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting, saying, Speak to the people of Israel, and say to them, When any one of you brings an offering to the Lord, you shall bring your offering of livestock from the herd or from the flock. If his offering is a burnt offering from the herd, he shall offer a male without blemish. He shall bring it to the entrance of the tent of meeting, that he may be accepted before the Lord. He shall lay his hand on the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. Then he shall kill the bull before the Lord, and Aaron's sons, the priests, shall bring the blood and throw the blood against the sides of the altar that is at the entrance of the tent of meeting. Then he shall flay the burnt offering and cut it into pieces. And the sons of Aaron, the priest, shall put fire on the altar and arrange wood on the fire. And Aaron's sons, the priests, shall arrange the pieces, the head and the fat, on the wood that is on the fire of the altar. But its entrails and its legs he shall wash with water. And the priest shall burn all of it on the altar as a burnt offering, a food offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. If his gift for a burnt offering is from the flock, from the sheep or goats, he shall bring a male without blemish. And he shall kill it on the north side of the altar before the Lord. And Aaron's sons, the priests, shall throw its blood against the sides of the altar. And he shall cut it into pieces, with its head and its fat, and the priest shall arrange them on the wood that is on the fire on the altar. But the entrails and the legs he shall wash with water, and the priest shall offer all of it and burn it on the altar. It is a burnt offering, a food offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. If his offering to the Lord is a burnt offering of birds, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves or pigeons. And the priest shall bring it to the altar, and wring off its head, and burn it on the altar. Its blood shall be drained out on the side of the altar. He shall remove its crop with its contents, and cast it beside the altar on the east side, in the place for ashes. He shall tear it open by its wings, but shall not sever it completely. And the priest shall burn it on the altar, on the wood that is on the fire. It is a burnt offering, a food offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. When anyone brings a grain offering as an offering to the Lord, his offering shall be of fine flour. He shall pour oil on it and put frankincense on it, and bring it to Aaron's sons the priest. And he shall take from it a handful of the fine flour and oil, with all of its frankincense, and the priest shall burn this as a memorial portion on the altar, a food offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. But the rest of the grain offering shall be for Aaron and his sons. It is a most holy part of the Lord's food offerings. When you bring a grain offering baked in the oven as an offering, it shall be unleavened loaves of fine flour mixed with oil, or unleavened wafers smeared with oil. And if your offering is a grain offering baked on a griddle, it shall be of fine flour unleavened mixed with oil. You shall break it in pieces and pour oil on it. It is a grain offering. And if your offering is a grain offering cooked in a pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil. And you shall bring the grain offering that is made of these things to the Lord. And when it is presented to the priest, he shall bring it to the altar. And the priest shall take from the grain offering its memorial portion and burn this on the altar, a food offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. But the rest of the grain offering shall be for Aaron and his sons. It is a most holy part of the Lord's food offerings. No grain offering that you bring to the Lord shall be made with leaven, for you shall burn no leaven nor any honey as a food offering to the Lord. As an offering of first fruits, you may bring them to the Lord, but they shall not be offered on the altar for a pleasing aroma. You shall season all your grain offerings with salt. You shall not let the salt of the covenant with your God be missing from your grain offering. With all your offerings, you shall offer salt. If you offer a grain offering of first fruits to the Lord, you shall offer for the grain offering of your first fruits fresh ears, roasted with fire, crushed new grain. And you shall put oil on it and lay frankincense on it. It is a grain offering. Good morning, Sheila. Good to see you. God bless you. And the priest shall burn as its memorial portion some of the crushed grain and some of the oil with all of its frankincense. It is a food offering to the Lord. If his offering is a sacrifice of peace offering, if he offers an animal, good morning, Zon. Zon, don't take this the wrong way, but I was thinking about you this morning. Are you actually a Calvinist, or is that just like a tease from HHS? My inquiring mind wants to know. Or not. It's an honest question. I know absolutely nothing about Calvin and Calvinists. So I had questions. I have questions about everything. Okay. I'm Reformed. Calvinist is a specific thing which implies the 5 points. I agree with the 5 points, but I have many qualifiers with Calvin and other Calvinists. Would you like to have a conversation about what it means to be Reformed and about Calvinism with me sometime? The 5 points are a bad formulation. That would be awesome. Don't know if you use Discord, but my Discord is Jeff Everyman. Yeah, I would love to talk to you about that. I love hearing you speak. You're very well educated. You seem very level-headed, so I would love to just have a one-on-one conversation with you sometime. Reformed is continuing the Western tradition of Christianity. Calvin is usually a view of salvation. Interesting. Yeah, I keep hearing it being brought up, and I don't know anything about it. And instead of just reading on my own and not knowing which sources are accurate and not, I'd rather just talk to somebody that understands. I agree with the Western Christian tradition. Okay, yeah, I would definitely love to have a talk with you, brother. Get some questions answered, maybe get some illumination for other people that don't know what that's all about. Not a debate, just a conversation for the acquisition of knowledge and understanding, which I think that's what all debates should be, but they're not all like that. Okay. Got it. It's not usually a thing I talk much about, to be honest. But I will talk. Like I said, not a debate. If there's anything you feel uncomfortable about, that I understand that you're a part of this debate community. So definitely, if there's anything you feel uncomfortable about that you think somebody's going to bring back on you, I saw you said this or I saw you said that, we can skip any of that. But yeah, I also understand not being hesitant to talk about your own personal beliefs rather than just talking about the information. I do understand that. Today at 1 Eastern, I'm going to be agreeing and disagreeing with Reformed Guy, but we are both Reformed. I sent a message to HHS on Discord yesterday after I think it was yesterday or day before. Good morning, Stevie. God bless you, man. And I said, do you know any two Christians that agree on absolutely everything? Just any two Christians that agree on every point. And he's like, on the minor stuff? No. So I get that. Which honestly, that maybe should be a little terrifying. A little bit of insight there as far as how complicated religion is. Not just Christianity, all religion. It's complicated. I hope you guys know each other really well, Sheila. Okay. All right. I'm not really dogmatic. I do love your honesty. Right on. I appreciate that. All right. Back to the scriptures. What am I going to get into in Leviticus? Because Exodus had some stuff, man, that I was like, wow. The Old Testament in general seems it's very different than the New Testament, the Gospels and Paul's letters and stuff like that. Very different. Very different world. Okay. If you offer a grain offering of first fruits to the Lord, you shall offer for the grain offering of your first fruits fresh ears. Okay, I hit this already. I am reading the whole book. I read from Matthew all the way through the New Testament. I wanted to read the New Testament first so I could look for, I was told that there are references to Jesus in the Old Testament. So I went ahead and read the New Testament first so I can look for these references. So I am reading 100% cover to cover. And actually, once I read through the Old Testament, I want to read through the New Testament again, just kind of continue on. Here's something to help. Pretend you're reading the Constitution of the Nation of Israel. This is more like our Constitution than a pastoral letter. Gotcha. Well, you had made a comment at one point, and that I understand, where you said you kind of look at the Old Testament more as allegory. I'm almost positive that was you. Part of it's allegorical, right? Okay. I'm glad you guys are here. I really am. It's I've done a lot of reading on my own, but it's nice to feel like maybe I'm offering something just by kind of reading it and let people just listen. I know that a lot of people don't take the time to sit and read the Bible themselves. So I'm hoping maybe this makes it a little easier for them. And I'm 100% not offering any sort of judgments on any of this stuff. I just thought it would be good to get it out there. Thanks, son. I appreciate that, man. Okay. Leviticus 3. You didn't tell me about the reading? If his offering is a sacrifice of peace offering, if he offers an animal from the herd, male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before the Lord. And he shall lay his head on the head of the offering and kill it at the entrance of the tent of meeting. And Aaron's sons, the priests, shall throw the blood against the sides of the altar. And from the sacrifice of the peace offering, as a food offering to the Lord, he shall offer the fat covering the entrails and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them at the loins, and the long lobe of the liver that he shall remove with the kidneys. Then Aaron's sons shall burn it on the altar on top of the burnt offering, which is on the wood of the fire. It is a food offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. Or Sheila, just wait. I will butcher at least 80% of them. I've apologized many times, especially since this is my first time reading it, and some of these names are just kind of crazy. One another thing to help visualize the impact this might have on a person in terms of both how much a sin feels like for a person. It will weigh more when you have to kill something for a sin. Yeah, 100%. And I was just thinking, is this something, and this might be, is this something that's like happening in a line of people? Is there like a line of people bringing their animals up there to sacrifice them? Because it seems like this would be really messy. Everybody killing the animals right there in the same spot. It never stopped. I hope they had drains. That's all I'll say. I know that might be like a weird thing to think about, but that's what I was thinking about when it was going through all these different ones. I hope they had some kind of drainage system. Okay, I'll get back on target here. If his offering for a sacrifice, If his offering for a sacrifice of peace offering to the Lord is an animal from the flock, male or female, he shall offer it without blemish. If he offers a lamb for his offering, then he shall offer it before the Lord, lay his hand on the head of his offering, and kill it in front of the tent of meeting. From child to adult, we'll see this scene, which is violent, but also shows the reality of sin and the price to be paid. You make a great point. And Aaron's son shall throw its blood against the sides of the altar. Yeah, imagine the visual for a little kid on this. Then from the sacrifice of the peace offering, he shall offer as a food offering to the Lord its fat. He shall remove the whole fat tail, cut off close to the backbone, and the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them at the loins, and the long lobe of the liver that he shall remove from with the kidneys, And the priest shall burn it on the altar as a food offering to the Lord. If his offering is a goat, then he shall offer it before the Lord, and lay his hand on its head, and kill it in front of the tent of meeting. And the sons of Aaron shall throw its blood against the sides of the altar. Then he shall offer from it, as his offering for a food offering to the Lord, the fat covering the entrails, and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them at the loins, and the long lobe of the liver that he shall remove with the kidneys. And the priest shall burn them on the altar as a food offering with a pleasing aroma. All fat is the Lord's. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwelling places, that you eat neither fat nor blood. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel, saying, If anyone sins unintentionally in any of the Lord's commandments about things not to be done, and does any one of them, if it is the anointed priest who sins, thus bringing guilt on the people, then he shall offer for the sin that he has committed a bull from the herd without blemish to the Lord for a sin offering. He shall bring the bull to the entrance of the tent of meeting before the Lord, and lay his hand on the head of the bull, and kill the bull before the Lord. And the anointed priest shall take some of the blood of the bull, and bring it into the tent of meeting. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle part of the blood 7 times before the Lord in front of the veil of the sanctuary. And the priest shall put some of the blood on the horns of the altar of fragrant incense before the Lord that is in the tent of meeting. And all the rest of the blood of the bull he shall pour out at the base of the altar of burnt offering that is at the entrance of the tent of meeting. And all the fat of the bull and the sin offering he shall remove it from it. I'm having trouble reading this morning. The fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys, with the fat that is on them at the loins, and the long lobe of the liver that he shall remove with the kidneys, just as these are taken from the ox of the sacrifice of the peace offerings. And the priest shall burn them on the altar of burnt offering. But the skin of the bull and all its flesh, with its head, its legs, its entrails, and its dung, all the rest of the bull he shall carry outside the camp to a clean place, to the ash heap, and shall burn it up on a fire of wood. On the ash heap it shall be burned up. If the whole congregation of Israel sins unintentionally, and the thing is hidden from the eyes of the assembly, and they do any one of these things that by the Lord's commandments ought not to be done, and they realize their guilt, when the sin which they have committed becomes known, the assembly shall offer a bull from the herd for a sin offering, and bring it in front of the tent of meeting. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands on the head of the bull before the Lord, and the bull shall be killed before the Lord. Then the anointed priest shall bring some of the blood of the bull into the tent of meeting. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle it 7 times before the Lord in front of the veil. And he shall put some of the blood on the horns of the altar that is in the tent of the meeting before the Lord. And the rest of the blood he shall pour out at the base of the altar of burnt offering that is at the entrance of the tent of meeting. And all its fat he shall take from it and burn on the altar. Thus shall he do with the bull, as he did with the bull of the sin offering, so shall he do with this. And the priest shall make atonement for them, and they shall be forgiven. And he shall carry the bull outside the camp and burn it up as he burned the first bull. It is the sin offering for the assembly. Something else I was just thinking to your comment, Zons, about them having to kill something. This is also, imagine back then, I mean, these were their currency. You know, it was their food, it was their currency for trade, etc. So I imagine for just a normal person, giving up a full animal was like a big sacrifice. So not only did they have to kill something, they had to kill something that was very valuable to them. When a leader sins, doing unintentionally any one of these things that by the commandments of the Lord his God ought not to be done, and realizes his guilt, or the sin which he has committed is made known to him, he shall bring as his offering a goat, a male without blemish. Imagine how a vegan feels. Nightmare fuel, vegan nightmare fuel. And shall lay his hand on the head of the goat and kill it in the place where they kill the burnt offering before the Lord. It is a sin offering. Then the priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering and pour out the rest of its blood at the base of the altar of burnt offering. And all its fat he shall burn on the altar, like the fat of the sacrifice of peace offerings. So the priest shall make atonement for him for his sin, and he shall be forgiven. Yeah, this is vicious. I'm trying to figure out if it smells good there or not, because I mean they're killing stuff and gutting it, but they're also, cooking meat with a lot of fat. That is a pleasing aroma to Jeff also. If any one of the common people sins unintentionally in doing any of the things that by the Lord's commandments ought not to be done, and realizes his guilt, or the sin which he has committed is made known to him, he shall bring for his offering a goat, a female without blemish, for his sin which he has committed. And he shall lay his hand on the head of the sin offering and kill the sin offering in the place of burnt offering. And the priest shall take some of its blood with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering and pour out all the rest of its blood at the base of the altar. And all its fat he shall remove, and the fat is removed from the peace offerings, and the priest shall burn it on the altar for a pleasing aroma to the Lord. And the priest shall make atonement for him, and he shall be forgiven. If he brings a lamb as his offering for a sin offering, he shall bring a female without blemish, and lay his hand on the head of the sin offering and kill it for a sin offering in the place where they kill the burnt offering. Then the priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and pour out all the rest of its blood at the base of the altar. And all its fat he shall remove as the fat of the lamb is removed from the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall burn it on the altar, on top of the Lord's food offerings, and the priest shall make atonement for him for the sin which he has committed, and he shall be forgiven. If anyone sins in that he hears a public adjuration to testify, and though he is a witness, whether he is seen or come to know the matter, yet does not speak, he shall bear his iniquity. Or if anyone touches an unclean thing, whether a carcass of an unclean wild animal, or a carcass of unclean livestock, or a carcass of unclean swarming things, and it is hidden from him, and he has become unclean, and he realizes his guilt. Or if he touches human uncleanness, of whatever sort the uncleanness may be, with which one becomes unclean, and it is hidden from him, when he comes to know it and realizes his guilt. Or if anyone utters with his lips a rash oath to do evil or to do good, any sort of rash oath that people swear, and it is hidden from him, when he comes to know it and he realizes his guilt in any of these, When he realizes his guilt in any of these and confesses the sin he has committed, he shall bring to the Lord as his compensation for the sin that he has committed a female from the flock, a lamb or a goat for a sin offering, and the priest shall make atonement for him for his sin. But if he cannot afford a lamb, then he shall bring to the Lord as his compensation for the sin that he has committed 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons. Also, by the way, pleasing aroma is an idiom that God accepts the sacrifice. Gotcha. One for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering. He shall bring them to the priest, who shall offer first the one for the sin offering. He shall wring its head from its neck, but shall not sever it completely. And he shall sprinkle some of the blood of the sin offering on the side of the altar, while the rest of the blood shall be drained out at the base of the altar. I'm sorry, I keep getting visuals on this, and I just got this visual of a dude like shaking the blood out of a bird. I got to stop doing that. Then he shall offer the second for a burnt offering according to the rule, and the priest shall make atonement for him for the sin that he has committed, and he shall be forgiven. But if he cannot afford 2 turtle doves or 2 pigeons, then he shall bring as his offering for the sin that he has committed a tenth of an ephah of fine flour for a sin offering. He shall put no oil on it, and shall put no frankincense on it, for it is a sin offering. And he shall bring it to the priest, and the priest shall take a handful of it as its memorial portion, and burn this on the altar. On the Lord's food offerings, it is a sin offering. Thus the priest shall make atonement for him for the sin which he has committed in any one of these things, and he shall be forgiven. And the remainder shall be for the priest, as in the grain offering. And these were, correct me if I'm wrong, this was like 600,000 people, right? I mean, this wasn't like just a couple people. Sorry, dropped my phone. This was like hundreds of thousands of people. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "If anyone commits a breach of faith and sins unintentionally in any of the holy things of the Lord, he shall bring to the Lord as his compensation a ram without blemish out of the flock, valued in silver shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, for a guilt offering. He shall also make restitution for what he has done amiss in the holy thing, and shall add a fifth to it and give it to the priest. And the priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of the guilt offering, and he shall be forgiven. If anyone sins doing any of these things that by the Lord's commandments ought not to be done, though he did not know it, then realizes his guilt, he shall bear his iniquity. He shall bring to the priest a ram without blemish out of the flock, or its equivalent, for a guilt offering. And the priest shall make atonement for him for the mistake that he made unintentionally, and he shall be forgiven. It is a guilt offering. He has incurred guilt before the Lord." The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "If anyone sins and commits a breach of faith against the Lord by deceiving his neighbor in a matter of deposit or security, or through robbery, or if he had oppressed his neighbor, or has found something lost and lied about it, swearing falsely, if any of all the things that people do and sin thereby, if he has sinned and has realized his guilt and will restore what he took by robbery, or what he got by oppression, or the deposit that was committed to him, or the lost thing that he found, or anything about which he has sworn falsely, he shall restore it in full, and shall add a fifth to it, and give it to him, to whom it belongs on the day he realizes his guilt. And he shall bring to the priest as his compensation to the Lord a ram without blemish out of the flock, or its equivalent, for a guilt offering. And the priest shall make atonement for him before the Lord, and he shall be forgiven for any of the things that one may do, and thereby become guilty." The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Command Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the burnt offering. The burnt offering shall be on the hearth on the altar all night until the morning, and the fire of the altar shall be kept burning on it. And the priest shall put on his linen garment, and put his linen undergarment on his body, and he shall take up the ashes to which the fire has reduced the burnt offering on the altar, and put them beside the altar. Then he shall take off his garments, and put on other garments, and carry the ashes outside the camp to a clean place. The fire on the altar shall be kept burning on it, it shall not go out. The priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and he shall arrange the burnt offering on it, and shall burn on it the fat of the peace offerings. Fire shall be kept burning on the altar continually, it shall not go out. And this is the law of the grain offering. The sons of Aaron shall offer it before the Lord in front of the altar. And one shall take from it a handful of fine flour of the grain offering and its oil, and all the frankincense that is on the grain offering, and burn this as its memorial portion on the altar, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. And the rest of it Aaron and his sons shall eat. It shall be eaten unleavened in a holy place. In the court of the tent of meeting they shall eat it. It shall not be baked with leaven. I have given it as their portion of my food offerings. It is a thing most holy, like the sin offering and the guilt offering. Every male among the children of Aaron may eat of it, as decreed forever throughout your generations, from the Lord's food offerings. Whatever touches them shall become holy. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, This is the offering that Aaron and his sons shall offer to the Lord on the day when he is anointed, 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour, as a regular grain offering, half of it in the morning and half in the evening. It shall be made with oil on a griddle. You shall bring it well mixed in baked pieces like a grain offering, and offer it for a pleasing aroma to the Lord. The priest from among Aaron's sons, who is anointed to succeed him, shall offer it to the Lord as decreed forever. The whole of it shall be burned. Every grain offering of a priest shall be wholly burned, it shall not be eaten. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is killed, shall the sin offering be killed before the Lord. It is most holy. The priest who offers it for sin shall eat it. In a holy place it shall be eaten, in the court of the tent of meeting. Whatever touches its flesh shall be holy, and when any of its blood is splashed on a garment, you shall wash that on which it was splashed in a holy place. And the earthenware vessel in which it is boiled shall be broken. But if it is boiled in a bronze vessel, that shall be scoured and rinsed in water. Every male among the priests may eat of it. It is most holy. But no sin offering shall be eaten from which any blood is brought into the tent of meeting to make atonement in the holy place. It shall be burned up with fire. This is the law of the guilt offering. It is most holy. In the place where they kill the burnt offering, they shall kill the guilt offering, and its blood shall be thrown against the sides of the altar, and all its fat shall be offered, the fat tail, the fat that covers the entrails, the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them at the loins, and the long lobe of the liver that he shall remove with the kidneys. The priest shall burn them on the altar as a food offering to the Lord. It is a guilt offering. Every male among the priests may eat of it. It shall be eaten in a holy place. It is most holy. The guilt offering is just like the sin offering. There is one law for them. The priest who makes atonement with it shall have it, and the priest who offers any man's burnt offering shall have for himself the skin of the burnt offering that he has offered. And every grain offering baked in the oven, and all that is prepared on a pan or a griddle shall belong to the priest who offers it. And every grain offering mixed with oil or dry shall be shared equally among all the sons of Aaron. This is the law of the sacrifice of peace offerings that one may offer to the Lord. If he offers it for thanksgiving, then he shall offer with the thanksgiving sacrifice unleavened loaves mixed with oil, unleavened wafers smeared with oil, and loaves of fine flour well mixed with oil. With the sacrifice of his peace offerings for thanksgiving, he shall bring his offering with loaves of unleavened bread. With loaves of leavened bread. And from it he shall offer one loaf from each offering, as a gift to the Lord. It shall belong to the priest who throws the blood of the peace offerings. And the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offerings for thanksgiving shall be eaten on the day of his offering. He shall not leave any of it until the morning. But if the sacrifice of his offering is a vow offering or a free will offering, it shall be eaten on the day that he offers his sacrifice, and on the next day what remains of it shall be eaten. But what remains of the flesh of the sacrifice on the third day shall be burned up with fire. If any of the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offering is eaten on the third day, he who offers it shall not be accepted, neither shall it be credited to him. It is tainted, and he who eats of it shall bear his iniquity. Flesh that touches any unclean thing shall not be eaten. It shall be burned up with fire. All who are clean may eat flesh. But the person who eats the flesh of the sacrifice of the Lord's peace offerings while an uncleanness is on him, that person shall be cut off from his people. And if anyone touches an unclean thing, whether human uncleanness or an unclean beast or any unclean detestable creature, and then eats some flesh from the sacrifice of the Lord's peace offering, that person shall be cut off from his people. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel, saying, You shall eat no fat of ox or sheep or goat, the fat of an animal that dies of itself, and the fat of one that is torn by beasts may be put to any other use, but on no account shall you eat it. For every person who eats of the fat of an animal of which a food offering may be made to the Lord shall be cut off from his people. Moreover, you shall eat no blood whatever, whether of fowl or of animal, in any of your dwelling places. Whoever eats any blood, that person shall be cut off from his people. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the people of Israel, saying, Whoever offers the sacrifice of his peace offerings to the Lord shall bring his offering to the Lord from the sacrifice of his peace offerings. His own hand shall bring the Lord's food offerings. He shall bring the fat with the breast, that the breast may be waved as a wave offering before the Lord. I still don't know what a wave offering is. I need to look that up. The priest shall burn the fat on the altar, but the breast shall be for Aaron and his sons. And the right thigh you shall give to the priest as a contribution from the sacrifice of your peace offerings. Whoever among the sons of Aaron offers the blood of the peace offerings, and the fat shall have the right thigh for a portion. For the breast that is waved, and the thigh that is contributed, I have taken from the people of Israel, out of the sacrifices of their peace offerings, and have given them to Aaron the priest and to his sons, as a perpetual due from the people of Israel. This is the portion of Aaron and of his sons from the Lord's food offerings, from the day they were presented to serve as priests of the Lord. The Lord commanded this to be given them by the people of Israel, from the day that he anointed them. It is perpetual due throughout their generations. This is the law of the burnt offering, of the grain offering, of the sin offering, of the guilt offering, and of the ordination offering, and of the peace offering, which the Lord commanded Moses on Mount Sinai, on the day that he commanded the people of Israel to bring their offerings to the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai. Okay, well, I think that is where I'm going to wrap up for the day. So we got 1 through 7 done. We are up to the consecration of Aaron and his sons. And that's where I will continue on. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Zon, Sheila, Stevie. That may be it. But I really appreciate you guys hanging out, chatting with me. Zons, I will be getting a hold of you to find more out about Reformed and Calvinism. So I wish you all nothing but the best. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope I see you tomorrow. And God bless you all.
I've been walking through the noise, chasing every echoed voice, every answer fading like the dawn. I was reaching for the sky with 1,000 reasons why, but my heart was still so far from home. Every road I tried to pave only led me to the same old place, where my questions fill the air like rain. So I fell down to my knees, whispered through the quiet breeze, are you there? Will you explain? If you're the Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end, then you see the doubts inside me and the places I won't bend. So I'm coming to you, God, with my questions, not afraid of what the answers might be. Open up my heart like the heavens, let your word come alive in me. I don't want religion without reason. I don't want a truth I can't see. If you're the way, the truth, the life, then teach me how to listen. Teach me how to believe.
Psalm 46:10. Be still and know that I am God.
Speak and I will follow. Lead me